Hey there, and welcome back to my 100-day challenge. My name is Dayana Hansley, and I am back with Your Business Isn't Broken, It Just Needs Boundaries. So, this is going to be part two of a two-part series. So, this is the last part. Yesterday, I spoke about why the lack of boundaries creates burnout in businesses, and then what weak boundaries look like in business. So, a little bit about my background. I help female six-figure entrepreneurs to be able to scale their businesses to create high performing teams as well as automating their systems and processes. So let's go ahead and hop in to part two. So we're going to be talking about today how to audit your business for boundary leaks. Now, this might seem pretty counterintuitive, but it's sometimes not. So, first, we're going to want to start looking at our calendar. Is it filled with energy giving or energy draining tasks? Energy filled tasks are going to be things that are going to be driving your business forward, things that you enjoy doing. Or is it going to be things that are operating outside of your zone of genius? And we talked about that yesterday. So when we're operating out of our zone of genius, one of my things is I am a very systems type of person. So if I'm doing the same thing over and over, great. If I have to kind of create something from scratch, also great. But if you try to give me a graphic and tell me that I need to fix this, I can tell you if a graphic looks good, I can tell you if it looks bad, but I can't tell you what to do or how to do it to make it look better. That's just operating outside of my zone of genius. So that would be something that is energy draining for me. If my calendar is filled with, look at this graphic, look at that graphic, look at that graphic, and tell all the graphic designers what they need to be doing differently, that's not going to be an energy giving task. For me, energy giving tasks are going to be talking with people, communicating. If I'm having one on one conversations with my team, that is an energy giving task to me because that is giving me some type of fulfillment. So make sure you take a look at your calendar to see if your calendar aligns with your boundaries. And then reviewing client contracts and communication policies. That is going to be huge because you want to make sure that whatever your boundaries are, that your contracts and your communication policies are in line with that. I know I spoke about this yesterday about how I allowed my boundaries to kind of be pushed to the side and allowed my boundaries to be crossed with the previous founders of the organization that I worked for because I just allowed them to contact me at 10, 11 p.m. at night, not setting in place that communication policy like, hey, I'm available. Even after hours, I'm still available until like 7, 8 p.m. But after that, that's family time. And so we want to make sure that as the business owner, you are respecting your own boundaries. So the only way for you to make sure people respect your boundaries are to respect your own and set those policies from the get-go. Next, we want to identify where resentment is building. So that's usually a boundary issue. There are times when, say, we're building up resentment towards one of our team members because maybe they're contacting us all times of the night or super duper early in the morning. And we're starting to build up a sort of frustration with them. And it's not intentional. It's just because we are allowing our boundaries to be crossed and we're not setting strong boundaries in place. If you're setting strong boundaries in place, make sure that's also communicated to the other person because it's probably not intentional that they are frustrating you or that they're crossing that boundary. They may just not know. So we want to make sure that we're being very open and honest with whatever our boundaries are. Next, we want to get into how to set boundaries without guilt. You should be able to do this naturally, but I know sometimes, even myself, I feel guilty if I'm not accessible to clients at a certain time or I'm not available during certain hours or for a specific time frame. Like I do feel guilty for that. But if it's outside of my normal boundaries, then I should be okay with it. So there's some scripts for resetting expectations with clients or with team members. Just letting them know, hey, I'm all hands on deck. I really want to make sure this is super successful. What is it that I can do that's during my normal working hours to be able to set you up for success? That's a great way to be able to do it. Or what is, if you're talking with a team member, hey, I do have some plans after work with family, but I want to make sure that you have everything that you need to be able to carry out the project to completion. What is it that I can do for you right now? Like happy to meet with you for an hour, 2 hours. I will literally clear my schedule to be able to meet with you. What is it that I can help you with? Because that's telling them that it is still important to you, but that you do still have other plans and other obligations that you have to do after you leave work, and that's okay. You want to create the boundary and communicate that with professionalism. So don't make it feel like to someone that it's a punishment, that you're not available. You're putting up this wall because you're punishing them, because you don't want them to have access to you. You want to make sure that it is in a very positive way. And just as you want them to respect your boundaries, you should also respect theirs and communicate that. Hey, I'm going to be having family time. As you know, family time is super important to me. Just like when you're home, I want you to be at home and spending time with your family. So I'll be doing the same thing as well tonight. But if you need anything, feel free to let me know before I leave at 5. Easy, simple, very straight to the point, but it's also still professional, and it doesn't make them feel like that you're out of reach because they did something wrong, or that you just don't want them to have access to you, because you never want it to be like that. You want to continue to have a very open door policy with your team, and with your clients. And then there also needs to be the mindset shift from people pleasing to protecting your personal mission. So that mindset shift can be very difficult. I'm probably going to make a whole nother video just on the mindset shift of protecting your own peace, because that is something that I've seen time and time again, especially in female entrepreneurs, that we are very people pleasing. We want to say yes to everything. We don't want to say no. We don't want to let anyone down. But you also have to remember that you have to put yourself first and not let yourself down. If you are continuously putting other people before yourself, you're going to miss your mission, and you're going to be either overworking, or you're going to be frustrated, or burning out. Like, all of these things lead to you burning out. And that's the last thing we want to do. We want to protect the boundaries that we have in place, because they're there for a reason. When you protect your boundaries, some of the results that you'll see when your boundaries are super duper clear is you'll get more respect from your clients. Your clients will appreciate that you have those boundaries set, and that you are all hands on deck, giving 110% during the key time that you are available for them. They're going to appreciate that you are all hands on deck. They're also going to appreciate that, hey, when Dayana's off, she's off. Like, she's spending time with family. She's recuperating. She is trying to rejuvenate herself. And so they're going to understand that, because your clients, if you realize that, you're doing a service for them because they're also doing a service for someone else. So while they also respect their own boundaries, they're going to respect that you have boundaries as well, because they're going to know and they're going to resonate with that. They're going to be like, oh, that's great that she's doing that for herself. That's great. She's taking time for herself. You're also going to have increased focus, which is in turn going to yield better results. You're going to be able to focus more, because you're not going to have to be dealing with the negativity and the frustration of people constantly crossing your boundaries. You're going to be able to then be able to nurture your team better, nurture your entire business, and be able to show up as your true and authentic self. And that in and of itself is invaluable. Like, you cannot even put a price tag on just being able to show up 110%, not even for yourself, but also for your team. And then last but certainly not least, a business that runs without draining you is clearly telling you that your boundaries are beautiful. Because if you have, and I've seen this time and time again, that people have businesses, they love their businesses, and their businesses are their babies, which is normal. But I've also seen where it will clearly drag them down so quickly, and they are just working, have no time to actually like take a breath up and like take a step back and look and smell the roses, because they're just so focused in their business and they're burning themselves out. And so we want to make sure that you are constantly being energized by the work that you're doing, because if you're being energized by the work that you're doing, ultimately that is going to tell you that you have healthy boundaries up, and that is going to tell you that your business is going in the right direction. Because ultimately, like I've said before, your business isn't broken, it's just unclear boundaries. So if you felt like this was helpful, Please make sure to subscribe to my channel. I'll be dropping all the tips and tricks, especially for my female entrepreneurs. Absolutely love continuously building you all up. And if you all have any questions or anything, drop them in the comments, and I will see you all tomorrow.